Hello, and welcome to Mustang Magazine. I'm Sadie Kroll.
And I'm TJ Gover. To start off our show, we have a story on breakfast.
Many students don't realize that the meal that starts your day can be found in Norwood High's own cafeteria. Reporter Lindsay Keaty brings us our lead story.
You figure at 10 o'clock, if you're taking a test and you've got an empty stomach, you're going to be thinking about your empty stomach growling and not your test.
Based on a study completed by the University of Minnesota, 1/3 of American children and teens skip breakfast. Jane McLucas, Director of Food Services in Norwood Public Schools, works to ensure that students at Norwood High School are not part of this number.
We've been serving breakfast here for 2 years now, so it was something new that we started a couple of years ago. Since so many high school kids don't like to eat in the morning, we thought it was a good option for them to be able to eat when they got to school. We're actually growing in numbers, and we are about 60 kids a day come and have breakfast here at the high school.
Norwood High School has many different options for breakfast, and according to lunch lady Sheila DeLuca, the bacon, egg, and cheese on a sandwich is the most popular.
I usually get the eggs and bacon on the sandwich with apple juice.
I usually get the bacon McNorwood.
The eggs and bacon sandwich thing.
I usually get a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel.
Although popular, this is not all they offer.
We started doing a waffle bar, so we're going to be offering that waffle bar on Wednesdays so that we can just try and keep the interest in breakfast.
Not only does the cafeteria have to plan meals that interest the students, they also must follow certain guidelines set by the Massachusetts Department of Education.
We have to follow a meal pattern for breakfast as well, so all of our grains have to be whole grains. We have to offer a low-fat milk, and each breakfast needs to come with a fruit or a juice.
Regardless of these requirements, students are satisfied with the breakfast and how much easier it makes their mornings.
It's much better than my old school, and I like how they have a large variety of food.
All my friends come here and it's just easier than getting breakfast at home.
While Norwood High School's breakfast program has received positive feedback, Jay McLucas still works towards improvement.
I would love to see more kids come and take part in the breakfast, so if anybody has any great ideas, I'd love to hear them.
So head down to the cafeteria before 7:35 and grab yourself some breakfast. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Lindsay Keaty.
Thanks, Lindsay. It's important to start every day with a wholesome meal.
Yes, it is. The LEAD program in Norwood actually exists to make sure everyone has the tools to complete simple tasks like making breakfast. Megan Quinn reports.
Good work, Matt.
They all have their strengths.
Very good.
You know, things that are difficult for them, we work on, and it's so awesome to see them grow.
And helping students grow is exactly what the LEAD program aims to do by teaching them life skills.
We have 3 teachers that are really nice to help us a lot. We have a head teacher, Bob, and then we have 2 aides, Donna and Mike.
We do a lot of cooking. We have a nice new kitchen at our facility.
Preheat the oven to 425. Can you do that?
We do grocery shopping. We practice working with money. We do a whole variety of things on a daily basis.
And it's not just practicing life skills inside the classroom. These students are getting hands-on experience in the community.
We do Residence Inn on Route 1 in Norwood. We have Republic Plumbing. We have Rocky's Ace Hardware.
We love working at Rocky's. Wave! Hey!
We do the thrift shop. We do Norwood Theater.
My job, I've been working for 6 years with Public Plumbing Supply. That's my favorite job. We do work stuff. We do educational stuff. We do life skills. We cook.
One of their favorite stops is actually the Norwood High School Library, where LEAD students are put in charge of everything from cleaning the computer screens to dusting the bookshelves and watering the plants.
Ms. Goldman truly appreciates them. I think it truly does help her to keep the library running. She's able to do other things instead of spending her time doing all the cleaning.
I cannot speak enough of how important they are to keeping this library functioning.
Although the teachers lead this program, it's the students who lead the way.
Oh gosh, every day is an adventure. I love working in the LEAD program. I think I learn as much from the kids as they do from me, and it's nice to see them doing things to contribute to the community and become great adults. It's awesome.
And reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Megan Quinn.
Wow, the LEAD program does provide such an amazing assistance. However, it's not the only service to visit Norwood.
Yes, Norwood High was recently visited by Bela, a service dog in training, and her owner. Brian Curley caught the presentation.
But if you were a dog here, then we'd want to check.
Recently, the NHS library had some special visitors.
We did a presentation about an organization called Canine Companions for Independence, and we talked about our experience as volunteer puppy raisers for the past 8 to 10 years raising puppies for that organization. And we brought Bela, who's our current dog that we're raising. She's a year and a month old. And we talked about the organization and what our experience has been.
In Betsy Spears' presentation has NHS students like Becky Dundon thinking about raising service dogs themselves.
I think it's like a good way to give back, and I love dogs, so why not?
And Spear agrees that raising a service dog is a valuable lesson.
Well, mostly because you're doing something that you love to do, which is work with a dog and have a dog, but you get the added bonus of doing something really important for someone else.
Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Brian Curley.
Dogs actually really like that when you...
Thanks, Brian. Hopefully Bela will go on to serve the disabled.
Recent graduate Bella Aspinwall also wishes to serve, but for a very different cause. Emmy Coffey brings us the story.
Senior Bella Aspinwall is ready for high school to be over.
I've been on a gun training, so I qualified as a sharpshooter last April.
Preparing to join one of the United States military academies, she's aiming high for a career of duty.
In my family, it's a tradition for our family members to serve in particularly the Navy, but in the military in general. And my grandfather had a really big influence on me.
And all of the World War II stories that her grandfather told her inspired her to want to be like him.
So for the past 5 years, I've been trying to be accepted into one of the academies. So I really want to become a pilot, and out of both Navy and Air Force, you have a really good chance of getting that slot and going to flight school.
So Aspinwall joined several training programs designed to prepare her for getting into a military academy.
We drill every other Sunday in Boston in the North End at the Coast Guard base, and we exercise, we do mill drill, which is marching on the base outside, on the pier. We take classes, we get yelled at a lot.
And having the physical skills is only one part of getting accepted into a military academy. The actual application can be brutal.
So the best way to explain the academy application process is a college application on steroids.
This includes multiple essays, SAT scores, a medical qualification, and a fitness test, which Aspinwall scored nearly perfect. But aside from all that, the biggest part of the process is the nomination. Bob Folks, the director for the congressman who handles nominations, knows Aspinwall well.
You could tell she was prepared for this. She had done her research, she had done her homework, and you could tell that she was really, really committed to this.
I'm just so excited because I get to start my journey in serving my country and following my dreams and getting into my dream school.
Recently, Aspinwall accepted an invitation to join the Naval Academy and follow in the footsteps of her grandfather. She'll be reporting for duty on July 1st. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Emmy Coffey.
Although Aspinwall's bright future holds promise, candles recently lit at Father Mac's contain a much different meaning.
Taylor Reed reports.
So tonight we're honoring Fernando Morales at Father Mac's. Very fitting because he loved soccer and he really loved to be here.
I still know Fernando's next to me, and I give him the high five and I give him the fist bump no matter what.
We can't release the lanterns tonight because the fire department won't let us. It's very upsetting, but we're making do with what we have. No complaints.
Of no pain. I think it's going to be like a good thing for everybody here that's coming, because it's a good support system and everybody knows Fern and had a good friendship with Fern, and it'll be a nice way to honor him.
Special place in my heart. He will be forever young, but most importantly, he loved and was loved.
So we decided to have this event in May because Fern's birthday is May 4th, and we thought it would be a good time when all the college kids are back to honor and grieve their friend who they might not have been back to go to the wake or the funeral, and just to come together again.
You know, I mean, it's for a good thing. You know, I was pretty good friends with Fernando, so it means a lot to see everybody coming out today and showing support for Fernando and the Morales family.
Just as friends and family are gathering to remember Fernando's fight, crowds are meeting to protest the recent suspension of quarterback Tom Brady.
Danny Sullivan visited the action at Gillette Stadium, recording with only his phone.
I'm here for the Tom Brady rally. Free Tom Brady.
Recently, a rally for Tom Brady was held by loyal Patriots fans in reaction to the ruling of Deflategate.
Now, the radio station wants to hear from you. It's a rally to support Tom and his path to his innocence in Deflategate.
I'm here to support Tom Brady and make sure he gets back on the field as soon as possible so we can deflect all these haters away from us and get another championship ring.
There's a bunch of people out there that hate us because they ain't us.
Despite an investigation from the NFL, Patriots fans still believe that Tom Brady is innocent.
I don't think he had anything to do with deflating the balls below the league limit of 12.5 pounds.
And they shouldn't have fined us. They should.
I believe it's a whole bunch of hocus pocus, a bunch of hate coming from everywhere but the New England area. That's why we came up with these shirts, Free Brady, you know, 12.5, that's all he said.
Fans believe that the investigation did not provide conclusive evidence that the Patriots did anything wrong.
I'm going to stand up for Tom Brady.
Well, there's a lot of issues with the report. 3 out of the 4 Colts balls that they were able to test that day were below the legal pressure of 12.5 pounds. But they only had time to test 4 of the Colts balls, but they say that the maintenance guy had 90 seconds to deflate 12 balls.
This rally was held to show Tom Brady that his fans will always be there to support him, no matter what the official ruling is.
We're still with the Patriot way.
It shows Tom Brady, if he's watching, that their support is out here for him.
Tom's been a wonderful player. He's done a great job, over 12 years. I hope this rally does something positive for the Patriots.
Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Danny Sullivan.
Thanks, Danny. It seems that just as the sports action is heating up, the theater program is winding down.
Norwood High recently put on their very own production of Mary Poppins. Student Jessica Maldonado secured the lead role, but there is much more to acting than simply auditioning.
Reporter Alessandra Varone tells us what it's like to be Mary.
Sophomore Jessica Maldonado landed the lead role in this spring's musical theater production.
My friend sent me a picture and I was excited, I was screaming, and it was a very exciting moment in my life. It's definitely very intimidating at first, knowing that my role in the play is very well known to a bunch of different audiences.
Maldonado was cast as Mary Poppins, a singing nanny with a playful imagination.
It was definitely difficult at first, not really being familiar with a British accent and all, but it's definitely very fun. This is not the first time I've had to memorize a lot of lines before, and at first it seems like a big hill to climb, but when you start going through the blocking and things, it becomes easier and easier, and it just comes to you.
Playing Mary also requires a lot of stage time.
I have a lot of songs to sing, and a lot of them are very taxing on my vocal cords. So I've got to find a way to sort of balance that out without hurting myself.
Part of her job as the main character is setting an example for the rest of the cast.
She's just a really nice person, and she's always making us laugh.
Though she hadn't seen the final product until opening night, it was something she was looking forward to.
It's definitely a very magical play, very magical throughout the entire thing, and I'm really excited to see how the set and lighting works in making magic on the stage.
Mary Poppins played for audiences last month, but keep an eye out for Maldonado and Norwood High's future productions. Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Alessandra Varone.
Thanks, Alessandra, but Jessica must be on top of her game at all times.
Similar to this, ballerinas must be on top of their toes, and Julia Higgins shows us exactly what they use to stay on point.
For point ballerinas, staying in point can be a challenge, but with a special pair of shoes, this becomes easier.
Well, it helps you to go up higher onto your toes instead of just being a normal releve, and it just looks prettier and more put together.
A point ballet shoe is built with a hard toe made with a block of wood at the tip. No two shoes are alike. They are personalized to the dancer.
There's not like a set right and left shoe. They're both actually the same shoe, and you have to label them after a while of wearing them on the certain leg. Your foot forms them, so then you'll know which one's which.
After class, my feet usually are numb. I get blisters and stuff like that on my feet from it.
point, dancers also have to sew their own shoes.
Like when I got the actual ribbon, it was all connected and you had to just cut them into 4 separate pieces.
Dancers go to great lengths to make their shoes more comfortable.
A lot of people try to break them in with like hammers or like hitting them on hard surfaces, but the person at the store told me specifically like not to.
After each class, since your feet are sweating because you're up in it for so long, you have to hang them up so they mold to your feet so they don't get tossed around in your dance bag.
And the amount of dancing a ballerina does will affect how long the shoes last.
Well, it depends how much you dance. Like dancers that are in Boston Ballet, they are always practicing constantly and they're always using them. But I only dance once a week in these, so mine will last a lot longer than theirs do.
With all the passion put into making the shoes, we hope it'll translate into beautiful dancing. From Mustang Magazine, I'm Julia Higgins.
Making sure you have the right equipment is the first step in taking any project on.
Absolutely. The Applied Physics Club recently did just that, testing their rockets on the football field with a special guest launcher. Karina Santiago reports.
We talked about astronomy and astrophysics and mentioned a little bit about rocketry. And we're taking the last day of class with the seniors to launch some model rockets.
Out of the many rockets they shot off this year, there was one dedicated to a special person at NHS.
Ended up a blue and gold rocket for GSU, and it went well. The parachute didn't deploy twice, so we decided to officially retire it alongside him. So we're just going to hang on to that, and it's not going to fly again. And that's his rocket now. 2, 1, 2.
While some rockets launched very high, others struggled to get off the ground.
It was a bit scary because all the rockets had a little delay to them when they were launching, so I was afraid that it wasn't that it was a dud so much as it just took longer than the rest to launch. And when Mr. Sear went over to dismantle it, I was afraid it would just blow up in his face.
The AP2 seniors got a chance to really apply what they had learned this year on this hands-on activity.
Everything about rockets is physics, so I thought it was a great way to end the year.
Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Karina Santiago.
Thanks, Karina. The rocket's many moving parts definitely look challenging to manage.
Thomas Guerreri recently caught up with director Jack Tolman to show the challenges that go into producing a live TV show.
3, 2, 1, take camera 2 and cue him.
Jack Tolman is the producer of the NPA TV program Hockey Night in Norwood. There's a lot of work and preparation that goes into producing the show.
I have to come up with guests, the coaches and players, and some highlights from different teams to put it all together and find out who wants to be live on the show and then who wants to be pre-recorded and what highlights we have access to.
As well as producing the show, Jack Tolman has many responsibilities leading up to the program.
I pull it all together, talk to Mark Hoover and Billy Glenn, who are the hosts, and find out first, are they available?
For the 3 episodes that we've been able to do live, I have co-hosted the show here at the studios.
Then I reach out to the teams and coaches and find out who can come up. So it's a lot of coordinating and preparation and editing the packages that get inserted into the show.
Jack Tolman came up with the show Hockey Night in Norwood based off a program in Canada called Hockey Night in Canada.
I thought I would take that concept and do a program highlighting a lot of the hockey activities for the Norwood Nuggets and the varsity.
Tolman tries to add another component to the show each year.
And this year we tried to have a little fun, and we had Coach Kelly, Brian Kelly, call in live from the Brockton rink as he was getting ready for his practice.
I'm sitting here in the studio asking him questions through a speaker in the ceiling here, and we were able to interview a guy by phone, so that was kind of fun.
Many things can go wrong when producing a live TV show, so Tolman has to be prepared.
That's the fun thing about live TV. It's edgy, so you don't really know what's going to happen, and once it starts, the red light goes on, it's showtime, and away you go.
For me, the hardest part is always which camera to be looking at and when, but you know, after doing it a couple times, what's really helpful are the people that work on the floor and behind in the studio.
There are many people who are part of producing the program Hockey Night in Norwood.
We had students come up and help out on camera as well. We had over 30 people in the studio. So really it involves a lot of people that don't normally get a chance to be a part of a live TV show.
Tolman believes there's a large audience watching the show.
The audience is there to watch it because there's a lot of parents and athletes watching it.
Producing Hockey Night in Norwood is rewarding for Tolman.
This program is an attempt to kind of highlight and show the town everything from learn to skate when you start pushing the milk crates, all the way up to your final game as varsity. It's a rewarding show, and I have a lot of fun doing it every year.
Reporting for Mustang Magazine, I'm Thomas Grary.
Thanks, Thomas. Tolman must have a lot of patience to keep track of all that action.
Yeah, patience is definitely for many different tasks. Like our next story on fishing, Ryan Martin brings us a profile on a Norwood High fisherman who has stuck with the sport for years.
For Mikey and Bobby Leon, an afternoon spent indoors is a waste of time.
Me and my brother used to go down, just fool around at the pond down the street, and I just started gaining more interest.
And after years of fooling around, the Leon brothers were hooked on a new hobby.
Pretty much every day, if I have time, I like to get down there. I really don't have a good reason for it. I just find it fun.
Mikey is now part of the North Walpole Fishing Game Club.
I'm a junior member, and they have little derbies there, so I like going down there a lot and catch some fish. I did the Norwood ones when I was a little kid, but I think I'm getting too old now, so I do a couple catfishing derbies, and sometimes I travel to go catch some carp.
And he's game for any type of freshwater fish.
Mostly bass and catfish, and sometimes when the town stocks some ponds, I like to catch the trout.
Catching a certain type of fish needs specific bait.
There's just so many different ways to catch them, like rubber worms, hard lures, and location, really.
So the spring officially in season, the fishes are biting. So get your rod, put on your bucket hat, and get out there. Reporting from Mustang Magazine, I'm Ryan Martin.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Thanks, Ryan. Next up, we catch up with a student who's training for military service and doing his hobby at the same time.
Here's Airsoft Commander Jeremy Bell in his own words.
3, 2, 1, go, go, go!
Particularly, I've been airsofting for 3.5 years. The first ever airsoft gun I bought was a 1911. It's a clear little piece of crap. It's 25 bucks, bought it at a sports shop. Messed around with it, and I started figuring out basically that you were allowed to shoot other people at games and everything else, and that's where I started. My first game was in 2012. That's when I started first. I mostly go to at my job, Extreme Action, or I'll go to UGB, which is down at the Cape, and it's near Buzzards Bay. It's an outdoor field. UGB is a place with sand, and there's the woods. You can go in different areas, you can fight in different areas. You can use smoke grenades there, you can use grenades there, you can use grenade launchers. Oh, gotcha. Mostly, if I have strategies, if I have people, I have a walkie-talkie, I'll strategically tell them like I'm going to go in like the 2-story building at UGB, and I'll be sitting there with a sniper scope watching people like run by, and I'll try to quickly eliminate them as much as I can while watching other points so that I don't get my teammates killed by accident. Because if I miss one guy, it's basically all over. Hey, they're flanking, they're flanking. Hey, you're hit, you're hit, you're all hit, you're all hit, you're all hit. Guy there, guy there. Hey, they're flanking! It's just like the basic strategic military training, and it's basically just the adrenaline you get when you're running and getting shot at, and you can hear the bullets going past you back and forth, hitting the wood that you're behind, that you're hiding behind. You can hear people screaming and yelling where the people are. It basically feels like you're basically in an actual war, except you're just not using live rounds. I'm gonna be coming down that pass. I made some suppressive fire behind me, because I don't know if there's anyone on my 6. My least favorite airsoft thing is when people don't call their hits. You just shoot someone multiple times and they don't do anything about it. They'll just stand there and they'll continue to shoot you, but you shoot them and they don't do anything about it. I saw that bounce off his chest. You can at least call that one, bud. It's preparing me for military training because I plan on going to the Marines when I'm older. So it's basically like, because some Marines, they train you with airsoft rifles, they train you with gas ones because they look realistic and they sound realistic and they have realistic features like the bolt going back and forth, the kickback and the recoil. Nice. So it basically just feels like you're going head to head against like an enemy that you're going against in Afghanistan or something like that. He's crawling, they're crawling, they're low, I can get him, I think. There's two down low. I gotta reload, I'm dry.
Well, that's all we have for this live edition of Mustang Magazine, but you can catch more stories online by visiting www.nhs.org or hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram.
We'll see you again in the fall for next episode of Mustang Magazine. Have a great summer.